Alright y'all, it's a start. Time to document the process of me getting back into the swing of things. If you guys haven't watched my last video, I was extremely transparent, telling you guys pretty much what the struggles that I've been dealing with over the past couple months. And this is what I'm going to do to plan to go ahead and change that and get back to the levels of trading profitability that I know I can be at. So enjoy this vlog. I'm about to go ahead and drop the kids off at school. Normally wifey does it, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and do it today and get myself a nice little coffee, and then we'll come back to the charts and I'll follow my routine, which is usually to check the news, do a top-down analysis of the market I'm gonna be trading, figure out what setups I'm gonna be looking for, and then plan my what ifs. If my setups don't start to form, or if they violate certain levels of structure that I'm watching, then the what ifs is, okay, do I change bias? Do I wait? Or do I not even trade at all? So family, enjoy the vlog. Hopefully you guys get some value from this.
Morning, what can I get ready for you today?
Hey, how's it going? Can I please get a venti caramel ribbon crunch, please?
Yeah, those are venti caramel crunch. Anything else?
That is going to be all for today.
Alright, just the drink is $6.98.
Thank you. Alright, back locked in. Dropped one of the kids off. Still got two more to go, but as you guys can see, it is 7:48. September 9th. And we're gonna go ahead and just do a quick little rundown of what I typically do when I come to the markets to get started for my trading week. One of the first things that I do is I go and I check the news calendar. Why? Because it's important to be aware of when there is major news in the horizon. You know, I typically use either myfxbook.com, or you will also watch me use investing.com. Investing.com may be a little bit easier to use. I like this myfxbook.com just because the news goes in order: previous, consensus, which is like the forecast, and then the actual. Or if you go to investing.com, it's like backwards. It's a little confusing if you ask me. All right, what I mean by that is this is investing.com. It's a little bit easier to read, but actual, forecast, and previous, kind of wish it was how my FXbook is, where it's previous, forecast, and then the actual, just so it goes straight across. Let's go ahead and just look at what we have on the news calendar for this up and coming week. Monday, September 9th is today. We don't have anything too crazy that we have to be aware of, so I'm not too concerned about that. Could be a simple day, but low volume day when there's no news. Tuesday, what do we have? We have some German CPI, Euro CPI that can definitely influence the markets. We also have some pound data that is definitely going to shake the markets for any of you guys trading any pound pairs. The unemployment rate, you know, they're expecting a drop in employment to go from 4.2 to 4.1. So obviously, if you understand fundamentals, it's one thing that I usually teach on really heavy, just because I truly believe understanding fundamental analysis will only add to your edge in the markets to give you that longer term perspective, right? So a drop in unemployment is obviously a good thing for that country's economy, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if this does come out at 4.1 or lower, that the pound actually loses value, because their stock market over there could possibly gain value from a drop in unemployment. All right, so that's what we have. Let's see what else we have. We do have a couple members of the Fed that are going to be speaking this week. I've seen already. I really don't care too much about them, besides obviously the big homie Jerome Powell. He's the one that is obviously going to shake the markets like crazy. Going into Wednesday, we have some GDP for the pound. What else do we have? And then we have probably the most important news event of this entire week here at 8:30 on Wednesday, and that is going to be CPI. Right? CPI stands for Consumer Price Index. It is the indicator that measures inflation. Right? Obviously, we've been dealing with inflation heavily for the past few years now. I mean, it's back down to where, you know, they realistically wanted it to be. You know, they wanted inflation to be within the 2% range. As you can see, CPI year over year, we have been in the 2% range now. We're at 2.9 right now. They're expecting a drop to 2.6. So if this does come out as expected, then I believe these markets can absolutely run. I think in stock market, indices, crypto, all these markets that are considered risk on assets, I believe they're going to benefit tremendously if we do see this type of drop in inflation going from 2.9 to 2.6, which is also a good thing for us, right? That means that, you know, consumer prices are starting to drop again, right? Hopefully the amount of money we spend at the supermarkets and the gas station, you know, starts to come back down to earth, because it really has been pretty crazy. So that's going to be probably the number one news event of the week. 8:30 a.m. Eastern, CPI data for the dollar itself. Now continue to move forward. What else we have? We have a couple interest rates decision as well with the ECB. Again, another big boy. Anytime there's an interest rate decision for a major central bank, it's going to absolutely shake the markets, especially the euro, because the euro, guys, again, if you understand the dollar index itself, which is a basket, it's a dollar against a basket of currencies. The majority of that basket is the euro, right? I think like 60-70% of the other currencies that are being traded against the dollar in the DXY is made up of the euro. So whatever happens here can definitely shake up the dollar as well, because they have a very strong negative correlation to each other. And right now they're expecting a pretty big drop right here, right? Almost like a 45% cut in interest rates is what they are expected to do here. So that's definitely going to shake up the markets for sure. And we'll see how that does, react to the markets as we get there. Going into Thursday, guys, we do have some more USD data with core PPI. That's another big one. Again, inflationary indicator, but that is for the producers, the business owners, seeing how much they're spending, or if they're seeing an increase or a decrease in their prices to actually run their business. So we'll see how that plays out as well. And then to go ahead and finish out the week on Friday, I don't think we have anything too crazy on Friday at all. So that is the first thing that I typically do, guys, when I come and start my week off. I always want to look at what the data is saying, what the news is saying, to see if there's volatility that I need to expect, that I need to prepare for. If there's times where I should be avoiding to trade around just because of a specific news event. Now, I don't shy away from trading the news or around news, but I'm not one of those traders that like to trade before it or as soon as it comes out. I like to actually see the data come out itself and then see how the reaction in the markets itself is, and see if the market's overreacted, if they underreacted. And then I like to enter positions maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes after news to see if we can capitalize on a move that we expect to happen. Now, the next thing that I typically do, guys, is very simple. All right, I always like to do a top-down analysis, starting from a higher time frame and working my way down. And I do that with those assets that I plan on trading. I'm a big fan of trading gold. I'm a big fan of trading, the NASDAQ, the S&P, US 30s. I am trading futures right now, so the tickers are going to be different if you're coming from the Forex side of things. This is gold, GCZ. This is US 30, YM. The NASDAQ is NQ, and ES is the S&P 500. Now, as futures traders, you do have the ability to trade currency futures as well. So I do analyze 6J1, which is the Japanese yen, 6E1, which is the euro, 6B1, which is the pound. And then I also have old reliables, GJ and UJ, when I do trade Forex. I do trade both, but I've been mainly trading futures a lot more. All right, so this is what I am about to do currently. I'm about to just do a quick top-down analysis of the markets, and I'll get back to y'all. All right, so I just did a top-down analysis real quick on gold and the NASDAQ. Those are gonna be the ones that I'm probably gonna be focused on today. One thing that I want you guys to really understand, family, is it's okay to have 1,000 different assets to trade on your watch list, but you should really dial in on only a couple, because you can really start to get analysis paralysis when you're looking at too many markets at once. So I'd like to focus again on maybe 2, maybe 3 different, market classes or asset classes, so that I can truly dial in and start to read price action at heavier once the market, especially for indices, actually opens up itself. So this is what I'm looking at here for this week when it comes to gold. Gold is actually at a very interesting level as it is already, but very simple, guys. I go to the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame, I'm just looking at what structure has done. All right, obviously we have been extremely bullish coming from this massive move up. Then we just started to consolidate for a good amount of time, right? We consolidated for damn near 2 months, and then we eventually broke above the 2511 here. Again, this is based off futures pricing, guys. Futures and Forex pricing is a little different, but based on futures price, and we ended up breaking above and closing above this 2511 area. And ever since then, we've been using that same exact previous resistance as support, and it's holding pretty strong. All right, so I think that there's a good chance that we can continue bullish here for gold, especially as long as we stay above this 2512, 2511 area for sure. So let's just look at this real quick, and you can see market structure as well. We had this low, create this higher high, broke above previous high, created this higher low. We had this push that ultimately broke major level resistance. And ever since then, we have not broke back down. We've just been creating these double bottom scenario that you can call, right? And I would assume that based off market structure that we continue to the upside, right? So I'm bullish on gold for today. I like the fact that we are back closer towards that key level of 25.11, 25.12, even though it's at 25.25. That's cool, because I do like the potential for the upside. Now, if we go down a lower time frame here, we go to the 4 hour, we can also see, the market just sweeping internal and external ranges of liquidity. I'm very big on a sweep of liquidity, especially if we're looking for a pretty substantial move. It has to be justified with enough liquidity behind it so the move actually happens. And if we look at this, again, we had this support that was here. The market bounced off it pretty aggressively. We eventually come all the way back down. We ended up double bottoming right at this level right here. We also swept below that level of support, grabbed some internal range liquidity that was probably resting below this level. Let me erase some of this. All right, once we swept below that level and had a nice strong shift in structure, which is what we did, broke this level here. I like that. I believe this could definitely signify possible bullishness to at least come back, test the highs, if not break it and continue to the upside. So very simple. We swept liquidity down here at the lows, and then we started to seek more liquidity to highs. We grabbed this internal range liquidity pretty substantially, broke structure, came all the way back down. We never actually broke structure once again to the downside, so this could be considered a higher low. And now I want to go ahead and target back up to the upside. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for. And I kind of like where we're at now, just because of what we have done, right? After we double bottom once again, close to the 25.14 area, right around this demand zone that was created, double bottomed in the demand zone, and last 4 hour candle ended up closing above the VWAP. And we also did so on higher volume, right? What I mean by higher volume is the candle that closed back above the VWAP, the bullish candle inside of our demand zone, has more volume than the previous 4 hour candle, which is this bearish one, right? Even though this looks pretty aggressive for a 4 hour candle, there was no volume behind it. The next one had more volume. So this is actually not a bad looking idea. I'm going to keep my eyes on it to see how this does continue to set up throughout, the trading session itself. But don't be surprised if I do end up jumping into this buy here very, very soon for gold. Okay. We're seeing a lot of selling pressure. So those are going to be the two things that I'm looking at, guys. Obviously, just gold, the NASDAQ, keeping things simple, not trying to overcomplicate things. Letting price action tell me exactly what I should be doing and when I should be entering is really going to be key here for me personally. So we'll see. I will update you guys on how these trades go. If I do take a trade, if I don't take a trade for whatever reason, I'll let you guys know as well, obviously. Hopefully we can find an opportunity today, make some money, and then call it a day. Oh, one thing too, I am going to be leveraging a prop firm account again. I'm getting a fresh 50K account, and I want to trade that as well. I'm still going to be trading my personal account, but I truly have to lower my risk like crazy, right? I really depleted a big portion of my personal account, and I really lost a good amount of money over the past month, just being reckless, being a little emotional, being too much of a degenerate, so I'm still going to trade my personal account. I'll show you guys, inserts of that as well, but I'm really going to focus back on prop firms accounts just because I am less emotional when I trade a prop firm account as opposed to trading my personal account. My personal account I really utilize to get withdrawals and pay bills, so I'll be able to think logically and more clear with these prop firm accounts for now until I'm able to really build my confidence back up. All right, I think I found a pretty decent setup here with gold, as you can say, fresh 50K. Let's see what we can do here. Gold is giving us a nice play here, nice reaction. We bounced off the support, double bottom here, did grab some internal range structure. Now we ended up seeing the shift of structure as well. What I would like to see is us to retest the 25-26 area, this key level, and then from there start to see this thing really go to the upside. This setup is giving us a 2.68, hard to see, 2.68 to 1 risk to reward. So the risk to reward is pretty solid. Monetary wise, we're risking around $500 to make around $13.52. It is 9:31 currently, so the markets, at least the stock market, just opened up. So we'll see if we're able to get this retest, bounce off the VWAP, bounce off of this level of structure at 25-26, and then hopefully give us a nice reaction. But this is our first trade on this account, on this journey now of me bouncing back and getting back to where I know I could be as a trader. So I'm excited for this, and I'll update you guys as this continues to play out. Oh, definitely, in my opinion, looks like it's starting to set up nicely. We just need this thing to push down a little bit more, Do got stops below the range, below the lows, just in case, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, y'all, we're back. I entered this position, as you guys seen earlier, go longs. All right, so we're still in this position here, go longs, at least trying to get to the 101 RR, which is at around the 25-40 area. Currently in a little bit of drawdown, nothing too crazy. We did come back, retested exactly how I wanted to retest. This is the 1 hour time frame right now. Our stop is pretty low, right down below the swing low here, which is pretty good. Again, swing low, shifted to the upside, broke internal range structure. Now I'd like to see it continue at least to the 1R, but eventually hopefully to obviously retest these highs. Just because again, I am still very much bullish gold here on the higher time frames. You know, I don't see, as of right now, we haven't done anything to tell me that we shift structure. The only thing that has me a little concerned is also the higher time frame, but not too worried too much about it because again, we haven't broken structure. But these past couple daily candles definitely are the only thing that have me considering avoiding the trade, because again, this candlestick sequence right here, these two patterns, we have this bullish candle follow this bearish engulfing. This typically at times we do see continuations of that because of how that candlestick formation and how that engulfing formed. We ended up taking out previous day's high and had a lot of selling pressure to go ahead and close below previous day's open. Usually that could lead to at least a continuation, but this area of structure that we've been playing off of is pretty significant. We haven't seen no candle closures, no body closures below any key levels. So I still personally like the upside. Again, at a 1-to-1 RR, I will move stops to break even. If this can go ahead and actually make some moves, I will move stops to break even, protect my trade, maybe close some partials off the table, and then from there see if we can obviously continue back up to the highs where I want to. So quick little update. It's taking a little bit longer, guys, than obviously I would like, but you know, when there's no news, there's nothing that could really provide a lot of volatility. You know, these are the type of conditions that we have, you know, and if this does continue to drop and I get stopped out, then so be it. It is what it is. You know, we'll just come back and look for the next setup, you know, but for now, this is where we currently stand, down around 56 bucks, nothing too crazy, you know, hoping to see if we can go ahead and get some strength to come in to at least get us to the 101. All right, fam, so just a quick update here. Again, still in this gold position, it's moving. You know, we were in a little bit of drawdown, but now as you can see, we are floating once again up around 50 pips or so. It's going moving slower than I like, but you know, hey, we can't complain. Again, we dealt with a little bit of drawdown, but now we are moving. Hopefully price can get above this level right here. Once we are able to clear 25.33, 25.34, I think there's no reason why we definitely go ahead and smack the 1RR. 1-to-1R allows us to roll stops to break even, go ahead and maybe close a little bit of partials, and then see how far we can reach before end of day, right? Because again, the thing about these prop firms is you're not able to hold it past the brand new day, so you have to close out by 4:15, depending on the prop firm you're using. So we'll see how this continues to go. Overall, pretty solid so far, up around 50 pips or so, almost 60 pips. So it's going well. You know, hopefully it continues to go and we don't get stuck here. This resistance and push us right back down because it's just gonna be super annoying. All right, y'all, so we're back at the computer, and I did end up just closing out here because it is 4 o'clock here. So pretty much cutting it close to where you're supposed to close out your trades if you're trading these futures prop firm accounts. We did end up securing a decent amount here, profit wise, you know, we ended up, or points wise, we ended up closing around 81 points here on gold, which is phenomenal, not bad. We didn't really get to the 101 that I really wanted to at least to get to, but it's cool. You know, we ended up securing around $300 for today. You know, we'll take it. It's not a bad start, you know, to help me get my confidence back. You know, securing, you know, 60, 70 pips, 80 pips, 80 points, always a phenomenal thing to see. So I'm excited about that for sure. So that's pretty much where we're at for today. Can't be too upset about it, especially right now with where my mental is at. A W is needed. Now we just gotta gain momentum and start to get a string of W's. Eventually get to a point where we pass this challenge, pass phase 1, hurry up and get to the funded, and then getting back to a point where I know I can get back to, and that is actually getting these payouts from these prop firms, and then eventually go back to my personal account and be able to really start to scale that and build that back up and get those crazy withdrawals like I'm used to. You know, it's just a little hump in the road. It is what it is. It's part of the process, guys. This ain't my first losing streak. It isn't my last. It's definitely probably my most substantial losing streak in terms of the amount of money I lost, which is why I had to take a step back from certain things. But it is a part of the process. If you haven't gone through this, I promise you, you're eventually going to go through it. Losing streaks are a part of the game, just like winning streaks are. You know, it's going to be up to you and your ability
to overcome those and do what's best for you to overcome those that's going to dictate if you're going to be able to be here long term in this space. But just to show you as well, I am going to be sending, you know, these ideas that I do take here in my Discord. For those of you guys that are a part of the VIP, my VIP inner circle, obviously you guys will be able to see all this in real time as I'm looking at it and as I take this. Like, this is from today, the screenshot from this morning. Keep my eye on gold for the setup, and then obviously this is the update where we ended up securing around 80 points or so. So if you're in the Discord family, a part of the VIP, make sure to pay attention to that, because every single day when I do find ideas, I'm going to send them to you guys. So as I continue to grow and take these setups, you know, you guys also have the ability to do so as well. But without further ado, family, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys gained some value, go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this content right here, this style of content, this day in the life of me trying to get back to the levels that I know I can get back to. And if you enjoyed it, let me know in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'll see you guys in the next one.